Tracy, I'm doing well, and yourself? Yeah, I gotta go in tomorrow for a couple hours, but glad you got a day off, man. You worked really hard putting all this together for us, and getting all these graphics just perfect, man. So I hope you have a good day off tomorrow, man. You definitely deserve it. This is a lot of work, and hopefully this is a good show tonight. It's Dega, baby. Dega is my favorite track. It's kind of it has a special meaning to me. I'll share with you guys later, so stay tuned for that. But we got a bunch of really fast guys on the track tonight that are gonna put on a good show. Dega, you never know what's gonna happen. Never know. Well, so we all talk about a drafting bubble, like where that when you pull up to the guy in front of you, um, there's a drafting bubble. Some cars are nice and square, so you could push a guy from not being right up against his bumper. You could kind of, fall in line right behind him, and that air will just go over both of you. You get sucked in a vacuum, and you're gone. Where um, other cars create this bubble effect where it kind of keeps you off the back of them, so you can't get to the point of where you're in a draft until you pop that bubble. So when we're talking about the draft has changed, these cars used to be where you could just get up on somebody and break the air. Where now you're going to have to push that bubble, get through that bubble first until you can get up behind somebody and then initiate the draft. So it's a little bit harder to initiate a draft when we're talking about a revamp in the draft. Uh, you know, exactly. Yeah, exactly right, Tracy. That's what these guys are going to be feeling on the track all night. They're gonna the car's gonna want to go, but then it's almost like you got to give it a little bit more gas just to push through that bubble, just to get up to where you really want to be to get that good draft. It's air coming off the top of the cars, and you want the air off the top of the front of the car to kind of miss you completely. But with the new drafting update, um, it created a bubble behind the car instead of just going over your car. So it's going to be very interesting to watch that. But I think these guys are going to fall in line quite well. We everybody's run ARCA, everybody's run different series that drafting bubble has affected everybody. So I think these guys are used to it, and we're going to see some good racing tonight. Yeah, we got Bradley Young in the 89 picking up the 11th spot, Chris Norris in the 56 to 12th, Red Taffy 13th, Harborough 14th, Art Mean 15th. Berlin made the race tonight. He wasn't sure in 16th, and Daniel Jones rounding out the field in 17th. And we're green flag, so this is underway. Talladega, baby. Yeah, and Talladega's like that. As soon as you get out of line, you're gonna go to the back. But um, I believe that guys just new in this league. They don't know who they're racing against. They got to get comfortable who they're racing against. So they're just buying their time. As long as you keep up with the draft, you're gonna be okay. So you could go to the back of the field as who's that? 30 gets into the wall a little bit. Yeah, Wood has cut into the wall, and he's still with the draft as long as these guys pick each other up and play fair and I think most of these guys want to see each other get to the end. That's what it's about here. It's trying to get to the end. It's not trying to push. It's not trying to make a move too early. We got 94 laps or 91 laps to go. You want to fall into a rhythm right now. Get behind the guy in front of you. Work together for 91 laps. Yeah, Yogi definitely did get the pole, and he's kept it out front, so that's good. Our biggest movers aren't you know Farmer's up three, Young's up 3 spots. Daniel Jones started in the back; he's up 3 spots. So nobody's made huge gains yet. Everybody's just kind of trying to drive, find a drafting partner. And we got an accident here. That might just wipe out half the field there. And unfortunately, that's Dega. You get into an accident, it's gonna wipe everybody out. Let's see what happens after this because these guys are gonna have to catch the field here. Yeah, and like we said, that drafting bubble it's new. So these guys are having a hard time trying to feel what that drafting bubble is. And sometimes you get turned when a guy's trying to push you through a corner, and I'm sure it's not intentional, and racing incident there that maybe you gave a guy a push a little too early. Maybe he wasn't set, but um, those things are going to happen on a drafting track like this. It's just inevitable.
Thank you, Chris Golden. My man, come through for us again. I apologize again. I am a producer in training. Apparently, Charles, my mic was muted right from the start. Did not realize it. So, how embarrassing. I do apologize to everyone. I was doing some great race calls there too, man. Hate you guys missed it. But hopefully you
Yeah,
can
Tracy.
hear me now. I can see I got a good output here. So hopefully everybody can hear us loud and clear. And this will always give Chris something to tease me about in the coming days.
Yeah,
So,
Chris is a good guy. Love this kid to death because he is one of the guys that will tell you exactly how it is, and it's refreshing to hear a guy that he wants everybody to be better, and he's one of those guys that really are trying to make this league a great league, because he takes his time to make sure everybody's doing everything right. As most of the field pit, most of those guys probably got into the accident or was slightly involved. Some guys might want to take some tires or fuel. Fuel is the big thing. Tires tonight, I don't think for the first time in 8 weeks now, tires isn't an issue. This is a fuel race. That's going to be something different we haven't really had to deal with for the last few races.
yeah, and we see Yogi there. He came in for a fuel stop, but it looks like he might have taken on a little bit more fuel than Stephen Luttrell did. I didn't really notice, did Luttrell necessarily beat him in or out of the pits. It just looked like the pit stop wasn't quite as long, and I could be wrong about that. See if we can go. Yeah, the overall pit time, I mean, yeah, Steven did beat him there by a few seconds. But again, I think it was just a matter of Yogi might have decided to take on more fuel than what Steven did. What do you think, Charles?
Well, yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to get as much fuel, and a guy out front is going to burn more fuel. A guy drafting is going to burn more fuel. A guy trying to catch the draft or trying to suck up to the guy in front of him is going to burn more fuel. So there's going to be a big difference in pit stops tonight as far as fuel stops in that manner.
And so essentially we already see some strategy playing out here on, essentially just how much fuel you take on.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Every little bit on a super speedway helps. Just a splash can be the difference between running out at the end or making it to the checkered flag. I don't know how many races I've watched where guys run out of fuel on a super speedway. It's amazing that this is the way it goes, and we got more guys coming in the pits. Oh,
oh
I
wow.
don't know why. Maybe they were. I don't know why they wouldn't
I'm
pit,
not
but
showing them a lap down. Maybe they had second thoughts about trying
yeah,
to
yeah,
run this without fuel. As we
yeah. I'm
see
pretty sure
Zach
they had
Tebow
second
there.
thoughts there.
Yeah. Well, Chris Golden says, I know you're watching. How about give me a thumbs up, baby? Tell me I'm doing something right anyway. Can you do that for me? Sorry, Charles. Didn't mean to interrupt that, man. I just
No,
wanted,
no, we gotta
you
get all
know,
the support we can get.
it just seems like to me Chris is, you know, he is finding my mistakes, that's for sure. He's making me a better producer, absolutely. But, I was just teasing him a little bit. Which I think he is is it Salem, Indiana? I think he will be racing tomorrow in the ARCA race. Sorry about that as well, Chris. Uh, Not fully prepared to give you the full promo there, buddy. But I think that's where it is. I think that's why I know he's getting ready to run into ARCA race because we saw on Discord with the hauler pulling out, and he had mentioned that he had driven up there getting ready. So I know it's going to be. Well, in fact, I think he said we could catch him on Saturday on FS2. He'll be running in the number 86 club racing car. And I think there's going to be some 4 Wide Motorsports stickers on that puppy as well. So definitely tune in, support one of our own here, one of our fellow iRacers. And hey, hope for the best. Go get them, Chris. Bring me back a checker flag, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all pulling for Chris as the pace car pulls down, and we're ready to go green flag racing here at Talladega once again. And Landon Former is on the pole right now. The number 18 has got the got the call here with Wood. These guys are new to the league, and they're on the front row. Let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, from
Drell takes the second place. Farmer got a great run. He took the pole position. He's got the call at the green light or the green flag. So he's got a great jump. Latrell gonna give him a good push down the straightaway. These guys are gonna find their spots one by one here, settle in, and that's gonna be most of this race. That they all gonna settle in, and they're all gonna drive their own race lap after lap here.
Well, I tell you, Charles, one thing I was noticing about Landon Farmer right there, he ran that white line all the way down the back straightaway, right on it, straight as an arrow. And that's what I always try to do whenever I was running these super speedways. Is it's almost like a pitcher and a catcher. Your catcher has to give the pitcher a good target, something he can focus on, and that's what these guys in the draft they need because. For instance, we'll even hop in Stephen Luttrell's car here. When you're up on, well, of course he would move over right now, but whenever you are on someone's bumper, all you can see is their bumper, and you kind of lose your landmarks as to where the corners start and that sort of thing. So it's really important as the lead car to be steady. Give your pusher something to aim for and help you both go faster.
Yeah, so the biggest thing about racing a super speedway is everybody, keep your line. And it is a tall task to actually keep a line when you're racing this fast. I believe these guys are pushing about 190 miles an hour. I see a couple guys, Farmers about 191 right now. It's hard to keep a straight line at 190 miles an hour with a guy breathing down your neck. But you're right. The guys that can keep as straight as they can, it makes it easier for the guy behind them to just stay right there. They got a target they can run. The guys out front, they're trying everything they can to just keep an eye on one target. It's amazing that they run this fast.
Oh yeah, and of course in the closing laps, that pitcher catcher analogy will go right out the window, and it's every man for himself, and try to get a draft any way you can get it, anything to help yourself get the victory.
Yeah, that's what I love.
Look here, Charles. Look who he got out front, man. The main man himself in the 29 Wonder Bread car. Beautiful paint scheme there.
Yeah, Mindfood Jones is pushing Cannon really hard right now. That outside line's working really well. And that's the thing. These lines are going to change. So you'll see the outside line working really well right now. The inside line's kind of falling off. But at first, that inside line was really good. You'll see lanes kind of bouncing back and forth all night. It just depends on how many guys you got hooked up in the draft and how many guys you can pull with you. That inside line, even though there's 3 cars, seems a little bit tighter. Maybe they can come back. But that outside line right now seems to be a little bit quicker.
Yeah, and I think, of course, I'm sure Bradley wants to catch up with Mindfu there and turn that into a 4. Oh, it looks like he has got in line. If they can hold it together, it's essentially four cars nose to tail against 3 nose to tail on the bottom. But that is difficult to do in my experience. I'm not good enough. You can see them kind of wiggling through the turns on the outside lane. And that's pretty reminiscent of the way that I drive as well. I'm just not good enough to keep it in line like you need to make the optimum speed with everyone in line. And we see Bradley Young dropping down to the inside line now. It's a little bit easier there. Again, just going back to my experience, because you got that double yellow line on the inside, something you can kind of reference as you're going through the turn.
Oh, absolutely. That solid yellow line is much easier. Oh, and what happened here? We got one. I don't know what happened there, but the whole front field just split apart. That's going to give that second pack a little chance to catch up here if these guys don't group up soon enough. This is how fast Talladega could change. What an amazing example, as you never know what happens at Dega.
Oh yeah, and I thought I may have to go back here once the action settles down a little bit, but it looked like to me that Doug Packner got into the wall and bounced him off a little bit, but he just kind of took it down to the inside line and hopped in front of these other guys. As now we see Paul Dillon. He's ran a few races with us this year. He is putting on an impressive display. Look at there, running a Dodge 113 out of Florida in the United States.
He loves those. He loves that Dodge scheme, and unfortunately, iRacing doesn't have the Dodge. But I love seeing it, man. It takes you back to the great days of racing, and when Dodge was a part of NASCAR. They are coming back, and I believe 2026. So it'll be good seeing Dodge back in the mix again.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you just kind of, I don't know. For me, remembering back, it was kind of. I know Dodge jumped out for a while, and then they came back in, and they left again. But for me, I remember Chevrolet, Ford, Dodge. Those were the big 3. Of course, you had things like Buicks and Pontiacs, but I could never get in. I don't know what the deal with those cars were. The Buicks and the Pontiacs. Well, the Pontiac especially, Cup car. Man, that thing was hideous. All I can remember is Michael Waltrip drove one for years. And I was thinking, my goodness, man, can't he put a different front end on that car?
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, I was born in '77, so I kind of grew up listening to what happened in '81 when Roddy Bouchard took his Buick Regal to the checkered flags here at Daytona, Talladega. But my uncle was on that pit crew, so watching videos, VHS tapes of my uncle being at this track, and my family being in the pit crew of that race when Ronnie Bouchard, a New England driver who drove modifieds up here, won that race, beat Gerald Wartrip and Terry Labonte in the last lap. That is what solidified my love for racing was this track right here, and Ronnie Bouchard in the 47 Buick Regal. So it is a bit of history that is really close to my heart and really close to my family and in my blood. So I love this track, and I love the racing on this track.
Well, I certainly remember what we used to call Ron. Was it Bouchard? I think it was. Sorry.
Yep. Ron Bouchard. Yep.
Yeah, it's been a while, but I used to hear his name called all the time in the Cup races. Ron Bouchard. But how about that, man? Yeah, that's incredible, though, man. You've kind of got some racing lineage going on there.
Yeah, and I've always loved racing because that's what we grew up with, and I'm sure everybody on this track right now has their own bit of history that you know hooked them. It's just like fishing. You go fishing, you catch your first fish, and you're hooked forever. Everybody's got their story, what hooked them, but Talladega is the one track that hooked me for the rest of my life. I wanted to race ever since then, and I was only 3 at that time, so I really didn't remember much. But as I grew up hearing those stories and watching those replays, because that was my uncle's glory. That was his only glory, being at the pit crew at Talladega. And
Hey,
uh,
that's
they replayed that forever. So it was amazing being a part of that.
oh, absolutely, man. I would have had that VHS converted into a CD or what do you call it, Blu-ray, whatever you and digital
Yeah.
now. I'd put that
Oh,
sucker
I
in the
wish.
cloud, man.
I wish, but I think we played it so many times that that thing got worn out, and
Oh
we
yeah,
probably,
yeah.
yeah, we probably threw it away after that. But what a race that was, and Ronnie Bouchard, God bless his heart. He's passed away, and just an amazing race car driver up here in the Northeast. Modified race car driving is the heart and soul of NASCAR. As we got looks like some green flag pit stops now, which is very surprising because we're only at lap 20. I
Well, I
can't drive a car because my pedals are messed up, so I didn't get a fuel range on these cars. But this is interesting. At lap 20, we're coming back for fuel.
yeah. How about that? And we made mention that Stephen Luttrell, gained a few seconds on Yogi Schlier there when he, made it in and out of the pits a little sooner. But I wonder, did he take enough fuel? But there again, we've got Yogi back in the pits as well. Oh, and he's going to be taking on tires this time. How about that? And
Yeah, I think I
this is under green. Oh man, he's taking on 4 tires under green.
I don't think that's a bad move. I know everybody else took gas only and stuff. It is a super speedway, so you're not burning up much tires. But now now he's got fresh tires, and nobody else does. So, um,
Right.
that might leapfrog him when he comes back, as long as he has help. That was a long pit stop. He might come out on the track. He might not get a drafting partner. Um, I think a lot of these guys need a drafting partner because if you're out there all by yourself, your race is pretty much over. Like Wayne Cannon, he's coming out of the pits now. I don't see. Oh, the 17 might come out. Mindful's coming out with them. So,
Yep. Yep.
thank God they got something. So see how that team uh, works here. You need a
Right.
partner here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Brian Tiffany there looked like he was falling back there before the pits, and now if he was trying to pit with those guys, I think he's going to be hung out to dry here. He's just a little too far back to be able to pick up the draft of those guys, not unless he kind of falls back in with the lead pack whenever it rolls back around.
Yeah, and
And yeah, you can see them coming in the background.
and if he could get up to speed, the lead pack might be able to pick him up and push him through. I don't know how fast they're coming. It seems like they only got 2 or 3 cars in a line on the lead lap there. Yeah, 2 cars right now, Luttrell and Dillon. If they could pick him up, they could push him through too, or he could drop behind Dillon and hopefully pick him up. Either or, he's going to have to pick up something, or he's going to fall. He's just going to cycle back through the track.
Yeah, and right now, Stephen Luttrell, Paul Dillon, looks like they've got about a 3.5 second lead over Wayne Cannon and Mindfood Jones. But look at there, there's Bradley Young sneaking up to them. Now, if he could make it up there and team up with Cannon and Daniel Jones and turn that into a 3-car draft, they might well be able to make up some distance on the leaders. Unfortunately, I think right now he is, a second and a half or so maybe behind Daniel Jones, and at this track, I think that might be a little bit too far back to get a whiff of that draft.
Yeah, you're a little too far behind at a second and a half.
And that distance is only going to increase as well since Mindfu and Wayne are tagged up and running together right now, nose to tail. So.
Oh, definitely. But so Cannon is also got a group behind him that's coming up on him. That where am I here? No, what's this group behind them? The 13. Yeah, there we go. Nerney is coming up behind him. He might be able to pick those guys up and push them a little bit closer to getting their lap back too. So even though they're spread out, there's a lot of different things that could happen here that might push a guy that's a lap down or in the back of the field back up to the front because they just hit that cycle right.
Oh, yeah, and look, they're getting ready to pick up on Bradley Young here as well if they don't just run over top of him. I'm sure they've got a head full of steam here coming up on him.
No, they picked him up. I think they got a hold of him here, and
Oh,
now
yeah.
they're going to, this group right here, 3, 4, 5 cars all on a draft, they're going to pick up the leaders very quickly here.
Yeah.
With only 2 in the draft. So that's kind of what I was trying to say. Is going to happen. We're going to see a lot of different scenarios like this all race. Just because somebody lost a draft and he lost position, he's going to find guys that are going to push him ahead to get him back up front there.
Oh, yeah, and we saw Zach Nerney. I mean, he was really laying into the bumper there, Bradley Young. So it's not necessarily them running in the same draft. I mean, he was actually doing the bumping and pushing there. And Chris Norris right now, he is in danger of losing this draft. He probably needs to fall in line as quickly as possible because those 3 cars will pull away from him if he isn't careful. And they actually need Chris back there in the back to turn that into a 4-car draft so that they can work on Daniel and Wayne Cannon up ahead. But we'll have to keep an eyeball on this. It does look like to me they are starting to reel him in. Maybe a 10th or so a lap. And
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen quick, but it will happen. I think he's in the draft per se, so he's not going to get left behind. He'll find it.
As we jump forward, you see Wayne Cannon and Mindfu here teaming up, nose to tail, teammates. But the one thing that I notice is you'll notice, and it's a good strategy play early on in the race, not to be right on his bumper. Obviously, this gives Mindfu a little bit more vision. And, of course, you don't have to worry about getting Wayne squirrely by pushing on his bumper either.
Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, they're out front. They don't have to push too hard. You just kind of got to ride that bubble. You don't have to pop it. You just got to ride it. And you're still getting a good draft. You're just not getting the great draft that, these 5, 6, when everybody's packed up. Like, look at these guys behind them. They're catching them. 4 cars, 2 cars, they're gonna catch them.
Yeah, and once that happens, oh yeah. So oh yeah, the momentum is picking up now. A while ago, when I just mentioned it, they were taking off by a 10th a lap, and now all of a sudden, man, they're picking up a good 10th or 2 every corner. So as long as they stay in line, they're going to walk down Daniel Jones and Wayne Cannon. And then that will put 6 cars in line. And Paul Dillon and Stephen Luttrell may be in a little bit of trouble there. Well, at least for holding on to the lead, not necessarily in trouble with the race because they've stayed clean. But the one thing that I'm not sure about, Charles, we had, like Yogi Schlier, Wayne, Daniel, all these guys kind of came in and got, made a second pit stop took on extra fuel. But some of these other guys, I'm not sure about, like Zach Nerney, Zach Tebow. I don't remember seeing Chris Norris in there. I was just wondering, are they starting to, starting to get a little bit short on fuel?
Yeah, and that's the interesting fact here. I think we got the top 9 right now. Took a sub 10-second pit stop with the 10 through let's say 13 or whatever. It took like a 14, 11-second pit stop. So there definitely is a different strategy from the guys in the back to the guys in the front. So maybe these guys up front run out of gas. Maybe the guys in the back kind of leapfrog them. It's going to be interesting, but here we go. That 4-car pack has caught the 2-car pack up front. So let's see what happens here. Do they stay behind each other, pick each other up, and go get Luttrell and Dillon, or do they make a run for it and move by these guys?
Well, I tell you, in my opinion, Bradley Young and Zach Nerney here, they're doing a great job because Zach is really all over Bradley's bumper. I'm not sure if they're teammates or not, but they seem to be drafting really well together. And especially with the addition of Cannon and Mindfu back there in the back, I mean, they are going to be coming here shortly for Stephen Luttrell and Paul Dillon. As long as they can keep it together, I see again, there's a little bit of break there with Chris Norris, but he's got, Wayne Cannon and Mindfu behind him. That's going to kind of push him right on up back into the draft. Oh, wow.
Oh, they caught him fast. They caught him a little too fast.
Yeah, that's the 59 and the 30. Let's see, that's Doug Pachter and Raymond Woodis. So those guys are going a lap down. Yeah, but they, even though they're a lap down, they don't have any damage. They can add to the pack, if you will, if they would team up, and they would definitely run down the trail then.
Yeah, so that's what these guys want to do. They want to catch the back of this draft that just passed them and cruise with them. If everybody gets in a line, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, almost 8 cars. 7 or 8 cars that they can put into a line right now, and they'll catch everybody really quick.
Yeah, I want to take a minute here. I haven't heard back from Chris. Tell me how good my voice sounds on the broadcast here, but that's okay. Not going to hold it against him. Josh on our YouTube live stream here is saying y'all are fun to listen to. I think that's Mr. O carrying more of that than it is me, but hey, I'll ride his coattails. And we got Emmett Crow. This feels like the 2006 on ESPN. Great layout. Well, that's good to hear. That's kind of what we're shooting for here, I think. Or is it 2001 or 2 that we're shooting for? Do you know, Charles?
Yeah, right around that era. I would say 2003 era, 2004 era. But hearing from Emmett's one of the... as we get some green flag pit stops here once again, but Emmett, we appreciate you chiming in, man. We're just trying to keep up with you, man. You're a great commentator, and you're showing us the way every time I rewatch the Monday night thing. I think if I could be half as good as Emmett, I'll be all right.
And if I could be half as good as you, being half as good as Emmett, I'd be all right myself. That's
no, we're getting down to quarters and eighths. We don't want to diminish ourselves too much.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Those guys on Monday night are way a step ahead, and they put on a good show, and we're trying to keep up and do our thing. But these drivers are the guys that really take the show, and as long as they're on the track, then we have something to talk about. So these drivers are giving the show, and we just kind of blab about them.
Yes, sir. So. And, it goes back to what I was asking about a while ago. Apparently, some guys were running out of fuel, and Wayne Cannon and Daniel have already made a pit stop, so they got more fuel. They're able to stretch it out a little bit longer. This is kind of the chess match that's going on within the race. Now let's see, we've got some more guys here. Haven't had a chance to look at Gerald Berlin in a while. Beautiful paint scheme there.
Yeah, that's the old Tony Stewart
Yes.
Home Depot car. Yeah, we gotta give.
Absolutely.
I never really liked Tony Stewart when he was racing, but I really liked what he did with the SRX series, and then he went over to Top Fuel, and him and his wife are racing Top Fuel right now. I give him a lot of credit now.
Oh yeah, well,
didn't give him much credit when he was racing, but he's trying to Tony Stewart trying to put on a good product every week. So
yes, sir. And they just signed. As we see Wayne Cannon and Daniel Jones back into pit again. Oh
yeah,
wow!
So there's our leaders coming down pit road right there, and that gives time for the rest of the field to catch up. But it looks like the end of the field is grouped up. I don't see too much grouping with the old leaders like Wayne Cannon and Jones. They're just kind of by themselves. That might hurt them in the long run, because this other group is pretty much the most solid group we've seen on the track all night.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm sitting here trying to think. I believe as we're looking at Zach Nerney right now pushing on Zach Tebow. I was thinking earlier on, I was commenting on how good the 13 of Zach Nerney was doing as a pusher, but I believe that was with the 89 car, Bradley Young, but I could be mistaken. Oh, as we see, Stephen Luttrell's joined that group as well.
Yeah, Luttrell's in the mix up to top 3, and you always see Luttrell in the mix. He's actually leading the season points right now with Carlson right behind him, and Wayne Cannon's in 3rd place in the season points. So there's a lot on the line for this race right here that could really change up the season standings, which we don't talk about too much because we're only on week 8 here. We got a lot of racing left before those points really come into play. But it is a pretty tight point race, even though Luttrell, dominated this race, kind of like the Earnhardts dominated this race back in the day. Earnhardt Senior won 10 races here. Earnhardt Junior won 6, and he went back to back 4 in a row. I think 2001, 2002 season, but the points here in this league are very close, and they remain pretty close.
I hate to change subject, but this goes back to Tony Stewart, and I wanted to do this before I forget the guy's name, but I didn't know if you saw the news this week where, of course, Tony Stewart and what's his name, Donnie Schatz had kind of split apart, and Tony Stewart announced that he has signed Rico Abrubio, something like. I'm not a real close follower on the sprint car series, but
Rico's I want to say he's a big deal, but he's a little deal, but he's a real good racer. He's a sprint guy, dirt track racer that just has won a lot of races.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I don't even follow sprint car racing, and obviously I know who Tony Stewart is, I know who Donnie Schatz is, and I know who Rico Abrubio or Abruo or whatever it is. Anyway, I just know him as Rico, and I've noticed every time I turn around, it seems like to me he's taking a checker flag somewhere else. So, yeah, I think they just went on the Dale Earnhardt download this week and announced that they're teaming up. And so Rico's going to be driving for Tony Stewart in the sprint car series. That's the way I understand it. Again, I'm not an expert, so if anybody on the live stream would like to correct me, I'm open to constructive criticism.
Yeah, and I'll add to that because I bold prediction. Dodge is coming back. I'm sure Tony's going to have something to do with that in some form or some way. I think he was a big supporter of Dodge back in the day. So um, I I'm kind of expecting Tony to do some sort of deal with Dodge. I know he doesn't really want to be in the NASCAR or the big three series of NASCAR. He doesn't want to really get into or put too much money into, but it might entice him when Dodge comes back. I don't know. Little prediction there.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll have to file that away. See if it comes to fruition there. As we still see Zach Tebow and Zach Nerney, and 1 and 2 with Stephen Luttrell. And I'll be honest with you, Charles, man, I have totally just, what would you call it, lost focus or whatever on who pitted when and who's got fuel, who doesn't, the strategies is playing out. It's, oh man, it's a puzzle kind of fitted on a chessboard here within inside of a racetrack. So I'm not
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, obviously I can tell Tebow's out front now, but if he's about to run out of fuel, then where does Stephen Luttrell? I think we just saw him pit earlier. I think he's got a little bit of fuel. I don't remember seeing Zach Nerney pit. That doesn't mean I didn't miss him coming down pit road. Wayne Cannon, Daniel Jones, they have fuel. If I could
Yeah.
just
So one thing we miss out here on our you know our statistics is when the guys pitted last. So I'm not seeing that on any of my statistics. So it's really hard to tell. It's really hard to keep track, especially on a almost 2.5 mile track. These guys are so spread out. It's really hard to keep control. But I gotta tell you, it is a big difference from a race we called what 4 races ago where Tebow was hitting the wall every race. I remember us calling a race where he was bouncing off the wall every race, and here he is leading Talladega, um, which is why I love Talladega so much. You could take the most skilled driver and put him on this track here and he'll finish last. You could take a novice driver and he'll finish first. You
Oh yeah.
never know what's going to happen here, and it's why I love this track so much is because anybody can win if you put yourself
Oh.
there at the end. And we're looking at a pass right now. They kind of Narni and Latrell kind of dumped Tebow, and he's gonna have to shuffle back to the end of that lead pack right there because he got out of line a little bit as it was
Yeah.
commentator's curse right there. Sorry about that, Tebow.
Well, I tell you what, while we're speaking about Mr. Tebow, I'm sure he's going to watch this back. Mr. Tebow, you'll notice your driver card is blank. My friend, I need an iRacing ID number if you wouldn't mind supporting. Resubmitting that. I've got everything else I need. Just need that number. Appreciate it, buddy. Good luck tonight. So, yeah, Nerney and Luttrell. And I tell you, with Tebow out front, man, they were really making some good time. Looked like they were going to, I don't know, just stay that way, as long as they could because they were doing so good together. But I'm not sure if it was accidental or if Nerney decided he wanted to lead for a while. And, of course, back in this day and time, you also, I think you had to worry about the engines overheating. I'm not sure if you've experienced that or not. Charles there, this is a fixed race with a fixed amount of tape on the front end. But I know at one
Yeah,
time there, you couldn't run very long right on someone's bumper without your car overheating. You more or less had to get out of line.
no, you're absolutely right, and I think in every series you're worried about your car overheating, and if you're not getting the air, like I said, a draft is the car in front is taking all that air and throwing it over the top of his car, and kind of right underneath that bubble. So your car, the engine really doesn't suck in air, and air, fuel mixture equals fire, fire equals combustion. All that goes on when you're behind somebody. Your engine's going to heat up. So you really do got to kind of, move to the side a little bit, kind of undercut the guy in front of you, just to give your radiator a little bit of breathing room. But I can't imagine that's happening here with guys so spread out as we got another guy in the pits here, green flag, pit stop, Latrell. Yeah, I don't know why he'd come by himself.
The,
this is
the yeah, the only
really
reason why,
dangerous.
the only thing I can think of is he didn't have a choice, and
It has to be. Oh well, we got the 30. Maybe the 30 came in right after him here. The 30's 4 laps down, but maybe they could come out together or pretty close together and push each other back up. And just because a guy's a couple laps down doesn't mean he can't get you back in position. So
oh,
these guys
real
are all racing.
absolutely, Charles. Before I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy, but I just wanted to, Raymond Woodis here is a driver who's new with us. He has submitted his information. He's probably going to be wondering why his driver card pulled up blank. I know he gave me everything that we needed in order to put it on the broadcast, but Raymond, if you don't mind, just double check your iRacing ID there, buddy, because if it's not correct, I get a big old blank screen like I got right here. But anyway, like I said, Charles, didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, and Mr. Raymond's got a great livery there, man. What a beautiful car he's running, the Budweiser. It's the old Budweiser King of Beer car. What
Yeah,
a beautiful car that is.
It's a beautiful car. Beautiful paint scheme. Really is. Now look here. Look who's back out front. Our main man.
Mr. Wayne Cannon back out front, and that group's pretty big. Oh, and so that whole group, 4 cars is coming in from the pits. Well played. I don't know if they're on a team talking to each other or what they're playing. Oh,
well,
no,
apparently not. Oh no. Let's see, who was that? That's Manfu. Daniel Jones.
Harborough, 17 of Jones right there. The 8 of Harborough.
Let's see. Oh, there we go. He used one of his fast repairs, so other than a few seconds lost there, no damage done. Well, he blowed a fast repair, but at least he was able to fix it.
Yeah, and I don't think on Talladega, blowing a fast repair is really that important. Like I said, if you could keep it clean, the field's spread out, I don't think that's a bad call using a fast repair right now. He's got an end game in mind right now, so I think that's a great call. Get your car fixed and get back out on the track.
Oh yeah, as we see Hunter Carlson there, he's sort of a Dale Earnhardt Jr. baseball scheme throwback with Studio 86 on the card at number 32 of Hunter Carlson from Peoria, Illinois. Hey.
Yeah, Hunter always comes up with some really good schemes. I know he does a lot of graphic stuff, and it's always interesting to see what he comes up with, because I don't know what he's going to do from week to week, but every time he posts something, it's fire. It's absolutely awesome. So, good for him to, put a good product on the track. It's awesome that he does all that work for us.
Yeah, and how about that? There's Ben Hollabaugh coming back into pits again. He just burned up fast repair, and he was just into the pits, wasn't he? Or did I get that mixed up with someone else?
No. The number 8 came down with that lead pack. So
what? He
Pretty interesting.
must have sped coming out of the pits or something and having to come back
Yeah,
down and
it's
serve a
got to be a
penalty.
penalty. Yeah, it's got to be a penalty. And it's easy to speed on this. Talladega is such a big track. Over 2.5 miles. Pit road is absolutely, ginormous. So you're driving down pit road for quite a ways.
Yeah.
It's very easy to go over the speed limit there. But we got Tebow back up front, Narni and Latrell, Dylan. Dylan is always in the mix. Like, even though he's quite a ways back, 20 seconds back, but he's right there. If
Oh, yeah.
if these guys could tighten up a little bit, Dylan will catch him. He's one of those guys that tries really hard, and he's got a pusher right now. Though
Well,
I don't know if that front pack really has much of anything, anybody pushing.
it wasn't that long ago we saw Bradley Young leading the pack with, I think it was Zach Nerney pushing him. And I think he kind of got booted to the side back a few laps ago. And kind of get between that and pitting, you kind of lose the draft, lose the pack, and next thing you know, you're just looking for anybody to break the air for you so you can help make your way back to the front. So we got Zach Tebow now back in the lead.
Yeah, so we got Tebow and we got Tebow's in the lead, but he's pushing
Oh, that's
the
right. Oh, I'm
36 with
sorry.
Latrell. So it's kind of
That
a misinterpretation here that Latrell is out front, but he's not actually out front. Oh no,
that
sorry. Yeah, Chris Norris. Yeah.
Yeah, the 56, Chris Norris out of Loris, South Carolina. He's leading the pack, but unfortunately, I'm not sure if he's a lap down. Let me change here. Yes, he is. Let's see. Well, I guess I can go over here to the scoring tower. Yeah, he's one lap down right now, and then it looks like he's has the possibility of going down another one if he isn't careful. But right now, he's kind of punching the air for these guys behind him, Zach Tebow and Zach Nerney. That's one thing you got to give to old Nerney. He's got the Tony the Tiger on the hood, but every time we see him, he's all over somebody's bumper there.
Yeah,
So
he's doing a great job pushing. He really
yeah,
is. But I think Tebow is doing the right thing. He's not trying to get by the 56. He's just stuck
yeah,
up behind him. He doesn't want to push that issue because he knows that just another car in front of him is going to save him fuel.
good
He's
point.
not burning as much fuel. He kind of gets in that draft, in that rhythm, and they're gonna set sail. Anybody you can get on your team at any point on a drafting track, you'll draft, P, 3,000. Just because he's the last guy on the track doesn't mean you can't use him. And guys need to use each other on this track. You need a teammate. You need a partner on this track.
Absolutely, and especially with Chris there, seemed to be holding a good line there, giving a good target for Tebow to kind of draft with. I mean, Norris, I don't see any damage on the car. He definitely seems to be up to speed. So, hey, that's just one more car in your group that's only helping you. No need to, shove him aside. Well, I tell you what,
Yeah,
Charles.
no.
I cut you off again, buddy. Sorry about that, man. But, we've gone through, I'm not exactly sure how many laps right now, but I was just wondering if you're about ready for the broadcasters to take a pit stop. Wow, the action seems to be in a lull here.
Yeah, I heard Talladega's got some good barbecue, so I'm gonna go up to the barbecue stand and get some barbecue or ribs or whatever I can get my hands on. We'll be back within a few minutes, guys.
Appreciate it. You guys stick around. We'll be right back just as soon as we can. And welcome back, everyone, to the Four Wide Motorsports event, the Aaron's 250 here at virtual Talladega Speedway in Talladega, Alabama. And so, anyway, we had to take an extended break. Had to go down to the concession stand, get us something. I chose nachos. I think Charles might have got him a hot dog. But anyway, it really wasn't anything too dramatic going on. We tried to keep the camera focused on anyone that might have been pitting or anything that would be somewhat exciting here. But it looks like right now we got Zach Nerney out front in the 13 car, but he's coming up on the 10 of Zach Tebow. And the way that I see it, Tebow isn't a lap down, but he's actually on the end of the lead lap. And then you have the 18 of him, Landon Farmer, who is a lap down right in front of him. So I don't know what you think, Charles. Here we got 13 laps to go. Nerney, who is on the lead lap, leading the race, is way out there by himself, and I'm not sure if he's got to come back in and pit or not. But he has a tremendous lead over Stephen Luttrell by about 21 seconds or so.
Yeah, so it seems like Narni just picked up a group. So the only way to get around this track, over 2.5 miles, 2.66 miles. You need a friend. You need somebody to draft with. You need somebody to run with. Narni just happened to find, some guys that are a lap down or kind of mixed up in the run. Tebow is still on the lead lap, but, just at the tail end of the lead lap. But, he's kind of.
Well, he is one caution,
yeah,
one caution away from being right back in the mix here for the victory.
Yeah, that's what I think. A lot of these guys, a lap down, that are, Millen, he's number 15. He's 2 laps down. If they just got a caution, if a caution flag came out, a lot of these guys got hope. But with 11 laps left, everybody's so spread out. It's going to be kind of hard to keep up, and you feel bad for guys that are running this track. It's such a long track to run by yourself. I've been there before where, you get a bit of damage and you lose the draft and you're out way behind. Look at this pack, four guys in a pack right here. You got Berlin, Yogi's in that pack, and Mindfu Jones. These guys are gonna, give it all they can to catch up, but what are they catching up to? Unfortunately, right here we're looking at Cannon. Cannon's by himself. He doesn't have any help. You kind of go backwards when you're by yourself on this track. Hopefully these guys can pick him up. We got guys taking pit stops right now. So let's see what that does here.
Yeah, so Yogi Schleer, Gerald Berlin, Daniel Jones, Chris Norris, all these guys have just come in here with only 10 laps to go. Now this is, I'll be honest with you, I'm totally lost on who needs fuel, who doesn't, where they stand. I mean, does this mean that and look, even Landon Farmer comes in, man. We got like a lot of different guys coming in here to pit, so it kind of makes me wonder with Zach Nerney out front. I mean, does he have enough to make it all the way? I'm just not sure that he will. He may end up having to give up this big lead just to come in and get some more fuel. Not unless he's really doing a tremendous amount of saving. And, oh man, I can't even remember who was in this. There he comes right now.
Nerney comes in. And he could do a lot of saving, behind a guy that was almost a lap down. So he didn't have to push it. He was so far ahead. But again, you need fuel to finish the race. We got 9 laps to go. This kind of changed things up here. So let's see what happens when
Yeah,
we
it's
come
going
out
to
of the
be.
pits and reset.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting the way this works out here with only 9 laps to go right now. It looks like Nerney just took fuel only, but he left his partner there in the 113. That would be Paul Dillon, who he was just drafting with. I'm not sure if Dillon had to fix some damage or if he decided to take more fuel, or if, that has every indication to me of speeding on pit road. No jackings
It
going
could
on
be.
to
Yeah,
lift up the
it could be.
tires or anything like that. So this is going to get pretty interesting because Nerney just lost his drafting partner there.
Yeah, so now he's hung out to dry. He's all by himself. Luttrell is what, about 32 seconds behind. But
Yeah.
he's got Young right on him. Berlin is not. Jones, sorry, Jones and Berlin aren't too far behind that, and Tebow, just outside of Berlin. Maybe he can't catch the draft there, but if a lot of these guys start dragging their brakes a little bit, waiting for the pack behind them to catch up,
Well,
they
look
they
right
can
here,
move
Charles.
forward.
There's Zach Nerney. I'm not exactly sure how this worked out, but the 10 of Zach Tebow is back in front. I thought they had got split up, but somehow or another they have gotten back nose to tail. And with Nerney just pitting, man, this might be lights out right here for the race, as long as no one wrecks and causes a caution, because he's got in other words, he's got a partner here to draft with.
Yeah, he found his partner, and that was the nail in the coffin. You're right, absolutely right, Tracy. As long as you find a friend, um, you're gonna make it. This group right here with the 59 of Pactor, the 15 of Malin. I don't think they have enough. I really don't think they have enough to catch anybody.
Yeah.
Poor Luttrell, always dominating races. Was triple back to back to back winner for a little while there with us, but fell a little short here, I guess.
Well, I tell you, his only hope, in my opinion, is to stay right on the back of what is that? The number 10? No, it's not the 10. It's Milne, Art Milne, number 15, the Canadian.
Yeah. He's
and just
and
everybody stay in line, nose to tail, and hope that you have enough to be able to pull this out. Because right now, oh wow, he's well, something doesn't seem right with my timing and scoring here, because I'm showing them closing in on Zach Nerney, but that can't be right. Yeah, so Stephen Luttrell's about 28 seconds back. I mean, they would really have to line up and get ahead of steam to be able to walk him down at this point in time here.
Well, Nerney really doesn't have. I mean, even though he's behind the 10 there, they don't have a great draft. It's two guys, and look at the space between them. These guys behind them, that's a pretty good head of steam right there.
Yeah.
The train is coming. They're probably running, 5 to 10 miles an hour faster than Narnia is right now. Lap after lap, they're going to catch them. Do they have enough laps with 4 to go? I really don't think so.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm saying you're looking at the scoring tower right now, and you can see that gap just decreasing. I mean, they're knocking off about a tenth per second. Unfortunately, they're 28 seconds behind. That's a lot of tenths to make up.
It's a lot of time.
And with only 3 laps to go, I don't know. I don't think they're going to have enough either to be able to compete with Mr. Zach Nerney. You got to give him props, man. How in the world did he get out there by himself? I think he took advantage of just about lap cars and everything else. Fuel mileage, got to give him credit. He had a good plan. He more or less leapfrogged his way up through the field, by, again, working with lap cars and that sort of thing. And something I think everyone may want to go back and review the race footage on exactly how it was that he worked his race strategy as far as refueling and his pit stops and all.
No, you're absolutely right. I think we need to take a page out of Narni's book right here. First race with the league, and he makes a amazing impression right here. A great statement that this guy going to be a threat to guys like Luttrell and Carlson, Cannon. Those guys are the top 3, and this guy came into the league and he's running up front. Is this a new contender now that we have to worry about?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely played smart. And, I've said all night, I don't know if this really worked out or not because I know it was dangerous. But, he was on some guys' bumpers, and he was doing a really good job of pushing, lap after lap, just trying to maximize whatever he could as far as the car being in front of him. But it must have paid off, just a little bit of at the time. He's able to push guys in front of him on up, and in turn he's able to ride their draft up and be able to go a little bit faster. But I really think this has something to do with his pit strategy. Again, I could be wrong about that, but wow, essentially a 25-second lead here on the final lap, getting ready to grab the checkered flag here. So I guess we might as well take a ride with Zach Nerney out of Virginia in the United States in the Dyslexic 31. And the Kellogg's machine is going to take the win. And I see right now we got Bradley Young and Stephen Luttrell. They're going to be battling right down to the wire. This one's going to be close. Man, Luttrell. He ran out of gas, is what I'm expecting.
He did.
Look at that. Oh, my God. On the last lap, headed out of the last turn, in fact.
And that's the first time we've seen that from Luttrell. Luttrell's, can he get to the... He can't go.
Oh, man. Oh, I don't know what was going on there, but I don't know. I think they worked out I think they must have had a side bet going on or something there where Luttrell let Gerald Boleyn and Daniel Jones pass. There's probably going to be some, dirty money passed under the table there somewhere.
Yeah, I don't understand that, but hey, you know what I mean. Good for him to give up the spot. Maybe he's just trying to make the the points more interesting. There's a bigger picture here, race after race. These guys are in a season race, points race. So race after race, these guys want to maybe help each other out and keep it close towards the end. So good for Luttrell. Great guy. He's won enough here, and maybe he had some mercy there.
Yeah, I think that might have been the case there. And look at there, old Zach Nerney, boy, he is burning her down, man. I don't blame him. He ran a spectacular race. I don't even know if he got any incidents points for anything. I mean, he raced close all night long, but every time I saw him, it was always good, close racing. Didn't really see him, bounce off the wall or anything that I can remember. So, props to him, man. Absolutely great race.
Yeah, so, he put the car where it needed to be at the right time and had the right help right at the right time. I know a lot of these other guys. They try to plan uh, as much as they can and try to bring each other into the pits as friends, but it's Talladega. You can't plan. It's gonna happen. It's gonna play out the way Talladega plays out. And that's why Talladega is the most interesting race there is, the fastest speedway there is. um, you can't tell what's gonna happen here.
Absolutely, Charles. Well, I tell you what, buddy, let's take a quick break so that we can get the camera rewind here and get all our the podium finishers in here with us, and let's just have a quick discussion. No, as Nernie finally polished off that engine, I just heard it bust right then. So
Yeah, he busted the pistons right off that thing right there. I think the lower end just fell right off
that's
that thing.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I see connecting rods and portions of the oil pan laid out there in the middle of the track. Okay, so we'll be back. We'll get everybody together and see if we can interview our podium finishers, and we'll be back just as soon as we can. Hang tight.
Oh, Charles Oberg here with number 17. Daniel Mindfood Jones comes in at P3 at Talladega. Uh, Daniel, how did you feel tonight? How did the race feel tonight? I know it was very spread out. I know it was a two and a half plus mile track that you know you really can't tell what's going to happen. But how? What was your take on this race tonight?
This P3 was pure luck. As far as that, I had in the beginning, I had a strategy with the 29. We're kind of run it out and stick together and pit and go like a couple extra laps and whatnot. And then I got in a little incident with the 8, and it kind of we went in together, and I turned into him and hooked him, and it kind of messed things up, kind of threw the whole thing out the window, that plan. So we had to scramble to catch back up with another pack, and then hooked up with the 12 and the 70, and ended up to hang in there just long enough to go through the pit cycles back up, and then was planning on finishing fourth, and then I guess one of them ran out of fuel at the end, and ended up picking up just third place. But other than that,
Yeah,
the racing was pretty wild there. I mean, those people all over run 3 wide, 2 wide. I mean, it's the drafting was a little screwed up. It was you really couldn't draft the way you wanted to because lead car kind of pulled away a little bit and catch back up. So they tweaked it a little bit, but all in all, it was a good race.
yeah, there was a little bit of talk about the new drafting model and how you couldn't really, get up to the bumper of the guy in front of you, or they would take off. But you did a good job, finding the support, because Talladega, you need a friend, and like you said, you had a plan, and the plan went out the window, and glad you fell into some backup plans. Glad to see a P3. Daniel, this is your time to take the mic and thank any and everybody. You have to, man. I went to a uh, Charlie Kirk vigil right before the race tonight. I know you got the Turning Point USA scheme on your car, man. Thank you for that. And this is your mic, man. Give us give us all you can.
Yeah, just like to thank my wife for let me spend the time on here and my kid whatnot. But yeah, this just gives us the opportunity to say, regardless of what side you're on, there's no need for any hates or violence. And that's the main point. And put God first, and family, and then country, and just everybody get along, and the world be a great place. And so that's all the message was. Just make everybody get along. So, but I'm enjoying everybody getting together and run this race, and production crew for what they do, and really good camaraderie to everybody to put this on. Really good thing.
Well, amen, brother. And Tracy, I understand you're standing by with the second place car, Mr. Young.
Yes, I sure am, Charles, Mr. Bradley Young. So, Bradley, first of all, forgive me if I'm wrong about this, but is this your first podium finish this season
It
here in the Gen 4
it
car?
is. It
Okay, I
is.
thought it was. One thing. Well, I tell you what. Before I even ask this, you just kind of give me your synopsis on how the night went for you.
It was just crazy. The whole fuel thing had us all in a mess to start off with, and pit strategy was everything.
Well, I
Having to
noticed
pit
that.
every 13 laps.
I'm sorry about that, Bradley. I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy. But
You're good.
me and Charles was talking about that too, man. I mean, smoke came out of my ears here trying to figure out what everybody was doing, because it seemed like everyone was on a different strategy. And I noticed you were leading some laps up front earlier on, but I'm not sure if Zach. I don't know if you had just needed some. I don't know if Zach maybe needed some air to his car or whatever, but or if you just got pushed off to the side. But after that, it was like it was kind of difficult to keep up with the lead pack. Uh, I'm not sure if you can remember back that far as exactly what happened, but can you tell me what happened there?
Yeah, during that first caution, or the only caution with me and Hunter, I had a little bit of damage. So I went in and fixed that. And then it was like my third or fourth pit stop. I overshot my pit box, and I lost a bunch of time there. And then it was just hard to catch up with Zach. He had some superpowers tonight or something. He was stupid fast.
Well, I tell you, I know. Well, you were right there with him all night, and there was something going on. I'm not exactly sure, but Zach has promised to let us know on air what the secret was. But he must have really had this thing worked out. But it was like I was telling Charles, man, we've got a chess match rolled up into some kind of checkered playing laid out on a racetrack here because I couldn't keep up with it. It just seemed like to me that the pit strategy was so different for everyone. And you'd have comers and goers the whole race that it was hard to find out who was going to be the winner in the end. I mean, were you dealing with that while you were on the track as well?
Yeah, a little bit. Just the lap cars, just figuring out who was where and where they were going and things
Yeah.
like that. But once I hooked up with Luttrell right there, closer to the second half of the race, I just stuck with him. We pitted at the same time. We stayed on the same fuel schedule, and I just stayed behind him, and it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that was a good plan, man, to be honest with you, with
Yeah,
Steven's
I know he's good.
reputation.
Yeah, he's good and he's fast.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, congratulations on making the podium, and
Thank you.
another congratulations for making it to second place here tonight. I mean, that was a pretty good finish with all the cars we had and all the strategy that was going on. And just want to know, you got anybody you'd like to thank for before we say goodbye?
Oh yeah. First and foremost, TJ, my little brother, he was spotting for me tonight. He was my crew chief, all that. All the guys at Copperhead Racing. And Hunter for the paint scheme and putting on this whole thing, him and Cannon. And then my mom and my wife for always supporting me.
All right, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna tell you from personal experience, it's always nice to have the wife on your side, even if
Oh yeah.
nobody else wants. Yes, that's
Absolutely.
the one you got to have in your corner, man.
Oh yeah. He's always watching.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, Bradley. We're going to send it back down to Charles, who I think he has the winner with him right now. Charles,
I
take it
appreciate
away,
it,
buddy.
guys.
All right, thanks, Bradley. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Tracy, I got Zachary Narnia down here, and you came in tonight. We really didn't know who you were. We didn't know what to expect, and you put on a clinic tonight. What was your feeling? Talladega. It's who knows what's going to happen. What were you thinking, Zachary? Uh, what's your thoughts, brother?
Well, the whole fuel thing really threw a wrench in everything, but the plan from the beginning was to just stick with Zach Tebow and just figure it out as we go. It seems like as things really just kind of fell into place for us, or for me.
Yeah, no, I it really did, and I know Tebow put on a great effort tonight. He finished P6, but he was up front most of the night with you, and he's always put on a great show. But um, you know, fuel strategy was the key to this race. Was there ever a point where you thought you might have messed up, you might have, overthought something, or was it? It's Dega. Was it a little bit of luck? Was it, did you throw the dice and end up, coming out ahead, or, what was your thoughts there?
Uh, Kind of rolled the dice after that first caution. My thought was we could save some fuel and really make a good run at it. Turns out you can't really save too much fuel, and it's better to just go flat out. And kind of a gem because we found out that 3 cars working together with the front 2 locked together was the fastest way around the track. And we were able to, me and Tebow were able to stick together all night. He got a speeding in pits penalty. We were able to link back up and always catch a car, whether they were lapped or on the same lap, and just work together as 3 and put down fast laps.
Yeah. I think we were on the same page on the broadcast side of it. Is we were looking at guys picking up lap cars and using them. Not that they were slower, that they were just there, and it just worked out. Zachary, great race tonight. Congratulations on the win. Is there anybody you would like to thank tonight? The microphone's yours. Let everybody know what you think.
Yeah, I would love to thank everyone here at Four Wide Motorsports for putting on a good show. Great race. I had a lot of fun, very clean race, and like to thank Tebow for getting me into the league and also helping me throughout the race. To Zach Motorsport guys here.
Yeah, no, Zachary. I don't know, Tebow and Nerney. I don't know. You guys are a double threat now. Tebow's always run a good race, so now that he's got a guy behind him that's won a race, it's going to be dangerous. Glad to have you on the this side of the race, and glad to have you on the team. Wish you guys the best going forward. Tracy, that's the race. Another Friday night. What are you thinking, buddy?
Well, I tell you what, I enjoyed this side of the couch. Charles, hope you enjoyed yours. I enjoyed Friday night. I always love watching a race at Talladega. These guys put on a great show. It was way more strategy implied than what I thought it would be. But all in all, it was very entertaining. And I don't know what else to say other than I want to give Zachary Nerney congratulations. Bradley, hey, man, he made the podium tonight. That's great. Daniel Jones, Mr. Mindfu here, came on with us. And, I mean, you got to hand those 3 guys, man. They absolutely ran a great race. So, all in all, just congratulations. I do know one thing we probably need to do real quick before we split out of here. Let's go back down through the unofficial running order or finishing order. Again, in first place, number 13 is Zachary Nerney. He started in 7th position, got the win tonight. Mr. Bradley Young again started in 11th, moved all the way up to 2nd. Take checker flag in 3rd. We had Daniel Jones, who started in 17th. How about that? Moved up 14 spots. And not to be outdone, or maybe he was outdone, Gerald Boleyn finished 4th. Didn't really have a lot of camera time on him tonight, and he started off 16th. Somehow or another, he snuck up there and finished 4th without me even noticing. One of our favorites, Stephen Luttrell, started 2nd. He ended up coming back in 5th. Looks like his, he was having some fuel issues coming off turn 4 there. And see if you can't help me out here, starting with number 6 there.
Yeah, Zach Tebow. Yeah, I mean, he started in 3rd, finished 6th. I think another one that just kind of fell off, like his teammate said. They weren't on strategy. Yogi on the pole. Yogi on the pole finished 7th, and that's disheartening because that guy gives an effort every race. Landon Farmer, another guy that might have started in the 10th position, but moved up 2 spots to 8th. It's a good move. Art Milene started 15th, came out 9th. Doug Pachter started 5th, fell back to 10th. Wayne Cannon started 6th, fell back to 11th. Chris Norris, 12th, kind of finished even.
Yeah.
What a
Hey.
race for him. Why not? Like one guy that you start it and you finish it.
Exactly.
Good for Chris. Chris Norris is a good guy. He deserves the best. Benjamin Harbaugh, I see it every race. He gets the bad end of the stick. Started 14th and ended up finishing 13th. So, a positive race for him. Hunter Carlson started ninth, dropped back to 14th. Raymond Woodsy, another newcomer, started eighth. Great qualifying. Um, Fell back to 14th. Paul Dillon, uh, what a guy! What a race car driver! Yeah, this kid could wheel anything.
Yeah.
He started fourth and unfortunately got into the incident. Fell back to 16th, and Brian Tiffany rounds out the field. He started 13th and ended up 17th.
Yeah. Gotta love that name, Brian Tiffany. Somehow or another.
I
I
kind of
don't.
like it.
Yeah, I do too, man. It just has some elegance to it, That might not be what he's looking for on a racetrack, but sorry, Brian. I hope I just kind of like that name. Brian Tiffany's
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
good ring to it. Absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you what, those guys the guys I named towards the end of the pack, they're coming back. Those are some good race car drivers that they've uh, cut their teeth in this league, and they've shown us that they've run up front. They kind of fell back tonight, but they're going to be back up front next week.
Well,
So
well,
look for them in the mix. In maybe mile and a half tracks, 2 mile tracks.
yeah, absolutely. I think he just kind of fell victim to strategy. I don't know what I would have done different. You know what I mean? It just seemed like it really came down to where you were at, who you were able to draft with, when you could pit, how much fuel could you get, yeah, and who could you pick back up when you came out of the pits. I don't want to take anything away from Zach because we watched him all night. Man, he was a great pusher and he was in always up front. But there was a lot of strategy that went on tonight as far as pitting and everything. So
Absolutely,
I don't know
Tracy.
all these guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Charles.
Tracy, like they like to say, man, Dega, baby, it's Dega.
Exactly right. You never know where the chips are going to fall. And man, these guys put on a great show tonight. So I don't know. Like I said, I blew the fuse trying to figure out exactly what was going on with the pit strategy and everything. Obviously, there's some guys out here who know a little bit more than I do about this thing. So anyway, you got any final thoughts, Charles, before I sign us off for tonight, buddy?
No, just looking forward to next week, and hope to see you all back. I know we got a lot of really fans show up every week, and they comment and they give us likes. Keep giving those comments for us, and the likes, they help us out, guys. It's amazing how much you guys help us out, and we do this for you, the fans. That's all we're here for. The guys behind the wheel, they're here for you guys. So definitely keep giving us comments and likes, and we'll put on a show every week for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to give one of our viewers in the chat room, all balls, no brains. You get a gold star for the best name of the night in the chat. So,
Definitely.
anyway, for Charles, Mr. Oberg, this is Tracy Brown. We're going to be signing off for tonight. I want to say again, congratulations, Zach Nerney, Bradley Young, and Daniel Jones coming home 1, 2, 3 here at Talladega. We'll pick up the pieces and figure out how they did it later. But in the meantime, we'll catch you on Monday night. And Mr. O will be back here in the booth on Friday night, next Friday night. I can't remember where we're going, but doesn't really matter because we'll be here and we'll bring you another show. Good night, everybody. Y'all take care and have a good weekend.